Okay, good morning. Good morning, all. Uh, before going to start today's sessions, um, I have to ask one question. I think yesterday, two students, I think, Karthik and Chandru, I think we started the class at 2:15 or 2:40, 2:15, I think so. 2:45, I hope. Till 3:30, myself and HOD sir were discussed in the meeting. After that, I went out, but a few minutes back, I came into that same link till the Karthik is there. I don't know. Please switch on the Karthik, your face. I have to see. Karthik and Chandru. Very interested the students. Chandru, Karthik, are you there? Okay, Chandru, okay. Karthik, I think it is the number 52, Karthik.
Yes, sir.
Chandru? Okay, Chandru is, I have seen Mr. Chandru. Please switch off your video. Karthik, please switch on.
Yes, sir. Sir, no.
Karthik, are you there?
Hello.
I think
Yes,
yesterday
sir.
evening, till 3:30, 3:35, you are in article communication class, I think so. At what time you went away?
தூங்கிட்டேன் சார் அப்படியே.
ஓகே, சரி, இது மாதிரி பார்த்துக்கோ, கொஞ்சம் கேர்ஃபுல்லாக இரு, ஓகேவா?
ஓகே சார்.
Okay, we will start with one small exercise. Now I am presenting my screen. Few seconds. I am presenting my screen. I think it is visible. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So go to same Menti, www.menti.com. Go to www.menti.com and type 390557. 390557. I think you will get one question. Correct? Is it visible? My screen? I hope so. It is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Go to www.menti.com and use the code and answer the question. If you know the answer, please don't share. Private maybe friends group. Please let it be wait. We will get a number of answers. Please don't share. I have to check how many people have really attended my sessions carefully. Please don't share your answers. If you know the answers, please keep yourself. Please don't share in our private group. Okay. My question is, what is the bit rate for third generation optical systems? Okay, two people have said that is 2.0 gigabits per second, and 21 people have shared that 2.5 gigabits per second. Okay, good. 25 people have responded. 26. Okay, done. 28. Okay, 29. 31. Okay, super. 33. Remaining people, please respond. The question is, what is the bit rate for third generation optical systems? Either it is 2.0 gigabits per second or 2.5 gigabits per second or 622 megabits per second. All answer are yet to be. Some of the students have to be answered. I think it is for 39 students have responded. Total strength is 51. Approximately, I am expecting at least 45 response from your side. 45, six more people. 45 to 46. I'm expecting. Okay, 40. Okay. Remaining people still there have to join or searching the answer. Okay, 42. Okay, I think I will stop here. Definitely the answer is 2.5 gigabits per second. Already we discussed that the first generation, second generation, third generation, that is first window, second window, and third window, last class. First window deals the parameter of 850 nanometer, and it's around 144 megabits per second, 150 megabits per second. And second window, it is around 622 megabits per second. And third generation, definitely it is 2.5 gigabits per second or more than the 2.5 gigabits per second. Thank you so much for your response. I think 40 people correctly answered that question. What is the bit rate for third generation optical systems? Is 2.5 gigabits per second. Okay, now I will stop. Now I will go my PPT presentation. My window. Okay. Wait a few seconds. I'm making. Is that visible now? Is that visible? My
Yes,
PPT
sir.
is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Which slide are you seeing?
Optical window.
Yeah, good, super. Thank you. Well, I think we have stopped here. Optical window. So last class, small maybe recap for the last session. What are the things we have discussed? Maybe the general introduction or what is the need of optical communication? Why we have to go for optical communication? And what is the need of optical communication? Then evaluation of optical fiber systems. That is the first generation, second generation, and third generation. So first generation, generally by the name itself, you can understand that it is a first window, second window, and third window. So we are moving into the optical window characteristics. So how generally in optical systems are maybe based on either wavelength or lambda. Based on that, how they are choosing the optical sources or optical fiber systems and everything. We are going to discuss maybe in upcoming slides. So I will start here. I think someone trying to join once again. Okay. Okay, thank you. So this is the slide. This is a graph. It deals with the help of this particular one slide. You can understand the entire optical systems. The entire optical systems you can understand with the help of only this particular slide. You can see generally I will give an overview of this particular slide, then we will discuss what is inside that parameters and everything. You can see the first one deals a parameter of attenuation and with the help of lambda. So lambda versus attenuation. This first graph deals a parameter, that one. And second thing is we can see here optical sources, and we can see here optical amplifiers. And the last one is we have a relation between the responsivity and also the wavelength of your optical system. So this particular slide is more than enough to understand what is optical communication, where we have to go for what purpose. Based on your application, you can choose what is the lambda and what is optical source and what is the amplifier, which amplifier I have to go for in inline optical systems, and what type of photodetector I have to use. So those things we can understand from this only one slide. So first of all, I go start with the relation between the attenuation and also the lambda. In this first graph, you can see x-axis is dealing the parameter of lambda, and that is the wavelength in terms of nanometer, and y-axis deals the parameter of attenuation in terms of decibel per kilometer. Already I told that in the year of 1890s or 1980s, 3 decades before, generally the optical attenuation is huge. That is greater than the 1000 decibel per kilometer. So later on, due to the inventions which has happened in our optical fiber and manufacturing techniques, and also the new inventions of laser source and different laser materials, based on that, drastically they have reduced that maybe from the 1000 decibel per kilometer to around 0.2 decibel per kilometer. Now, when you are doing any communication in this particular situation, or now if you are transmitting with the help of optical system, maybe you can achieve 0.2 decibel per kilometer will be the loss. You can just see from the 1000 decibel kilometer to 0.2 decibel. That is how they reduced the attenuation from the large amount of attenuation, large amount of loss from that particular point to lowest value. Particularly this idea, x-axis I told that there's a nanometer wavelength, y-axis attenuation per kilometer. We have discussed 3 window or 3 generations. That is 850 nanometers one window, and 1310 nanometer, that is 1300 second window, and 1550 is third window. So you can see that when you are suppose when you're going to transmit one information from one place to another place, or from one city to another city, before that you have to decide what type of application or what type of information I'm going to transmit. Either it is very low data, or maybe less number of information. Based on that, you have to choose what is your nanometer for the based on the application. Either I'm going by the first window, or either I'm going by second window, or either I'm going by the third window. So before going to transmit any communication in the optical system, we have to decide what window or which window I'm going to choose, either first or second and third. By this diagram, you can see that when you are going by 850 nanometer, you can see approximately it is maybe you can see 5 to 6 decibel per kilometer. When you are choosing any maybe optical source in the range of 850 nanometer, definitely the attenuation, that is in decibel per kilometer, will be large. That is your maximum amount of energy will be lost. So when you are going or when you are increasing the nanometer from 850 to around 1300, you can see that from drastically from this point to this point, you can see the when you are choosing any 1310 nanometer, you can see approximately below 1 decibel per kilometer, approximately 0.5 decibel per kilometer will be the loss when you are going in the second window. Then later on, when you are choosing any maybe lesser source in between 1300 to 1400, definitely maybe the losses will be high. So it is not advisable to choose based on your application. You should not choose the range at the range of 1400 nanometer. So later on, you can see when you are going by the third window, it's definitely it's below 0.5 decibel per kilometer. So this is the idea. So based on the application, you have to choose either in the first window or second window or third window. Suppose if you are going for the long distance communication, definitely the optical communication is used for long distance communication. So when you are going for long distance communication, definitely you have to go for the 1550. That is the third window. If you are choosing third window, definitely the attenuation will be very low. So simultaneously, you have optical sources. If you are going for first window, you can choose gallium, aluminum, arsenic combination optical sources. Or when you are going by second window, you can either second or third window, you can choose indium, gallium, arsenic, and phosphorus. This specifically for optical sources, you can see I have told that gallium, aluminum, arsenic, and indium, gallium, arsenic, and phosphorus. This is the material composition you have to use for either second window or a third window. But I have generalized the word indium, gallium, arsenic, phosphorus will be, or it is applicable for both the second window and third window. Based on your molecule parameters and also the composition, the percentage of composition, definitely the specific the nanometer you will get from the particular optical sources. So this is the second idea from this particular image. And third is what is amplifier. Already we have discussed in the last class regenerator and some idea. So regenerator in the early days, definitely we know that regenerator will amplify both your original and also the noise. Later on, the development which occurred in our technology, so they reached the best level. That is in optical amplifier itself. Generally in amplifier or regenerator, the noise can be suppressed with the help of any filters. Then only the message will be amplified for the regeneration or for the long distance communication. Specifically, the difference between the optical amplifiers and the electrical amplifiers. In electrical amplifiers, we know the basic amplifier characteristics. As an electrical system, current or voltage we will give into the circuit. Based on that, the signal will be amplified. But in optical amplifiers, especially in optical amplifiers, we can go by the two type of amplifier process in our optical system. If you are not having any optical amplifier specifically, with the help of electrical amplifier itself, it can convert from the optical to electrical. Then that electrical input will be given to the electrical amplifier. Then you will get the output, amplified output. Then you can go for once again convert into the optical signal. Then you can go for the further process. If we are not having optical amplifiers, definitely you have to go for with the help of electrical amplifiers. Suppose for luckily, if you are having optical amplifier itself in your communication system, there is no need of conversion between electrical to optical and then optical to electrical. Directly as a light itself, you can amplify with the help of the available amplifiers. That is optical amplifier advantage. So if particular that case, you can see when you're in a 850 nanometer, you can use either gallium aluminum arsenic amplifier or in our maybe Indian gallium arsenic phosphorus also. It is optical amplifier system, and also it is a mixture of semiconductor devices. Specifically in our 1310 and also 1550, we have a EDFA and a PDFA is erbium doped fiber amplifier with a maximum in a general system or optical system. We will use erbium doped fiber amplifier for the optical amplifier characteristics purpose. And the last one from this, you can see the responsivity and the wavelength. Particularly, this section deals a parameter of transmitter side, and this idea deals a parameter in between the optical fiber, and the below diagram deals a parameter, the list diagram deals a parameter of photodetectors. I think, are you following? I think you are following. Someone please
Yes,
respond. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. So the lowest part deals a parameter responsivity and the wavelength. In I have another question. Please respond in our chat box. I have a please listen to my question. I have a question. In any communication system, either it may be a wired or wireless system, which part is too complicated to design, either in a transmitter section or there's a receiver section? That is the question. Please post your idea in our chat box. Which device or which system or which sector is too complicated to design, either in a transmitter or a receiver? I am receiving the response. Someone said the receiver section is super. Anusha and Kanakdara, Aparna have said. Divya also said the receiver. Aditya. Okay, good. So my question is simple. Which part is too complicated to design? Either transmitter section or a receiver section. It may be a wired or it may be a wireless systems. Either it may be a wired or wireless. Now, since we are discussing the wired communication, I'm generally in optical system or in a wireless also, it does the same question. Which part? I have received only 4, 5, 6. Okay, receiver. If anyone, please unmute yourself for those who are posted the comment receiver. Why the receiver is too complicated to design? Anyone, please unmute yourself for those who are posted the comment receiver, or whatever it may be. If you are if you have an idea, please share. Maybe we will discuss. Someone? I'm expecting the answer. Please unmute yourself. Then anyone. Arshini, please unmute yourself. Then why you said receiver is too complicated to design? Harshini, are you there? Harshini or someone? Divya? Divya, Ashwin? Anyone, please unmute yourself. Why you have typed receiver? No issue. It may be right or it may be wrong. We will discuss. That is not a big issue. Please unmute yourself. Then say or why you have said the receiver.
There will be losses, sir.
Okay, I think who is speaking? May I know?
So the receiver could do the decoding process. So it may
Okay.
Or it has to
So
perform some error correction techniques and also to compare with the original signal, sir. So it has to
super.
just compare whether the received signal is matched with the original signal sent by the transceiver, and
Yes.
also it also needs to perform error correction techniques also.
Yes. So super. Any views? Why it is receiver or why it is transmitting? Okay, so thank you for your response. Definitely, when you are comparing, the question is very simple: either to the transmitter or a receiver. Generally, the receiver is too complicated to design compared with the transmitter section. I'm not saying that the transmitter is not easy. The transmitter is very easy compared to the receiver. The receiver is too complicated to design. Someone said due to the losses or due to the error correction characteristics and also the noise detection characteristics process and everything which comes under the receiver section. Generally, we know the basic characteristics of transmitter. The transmitter will do only the modulation. When you're having any information or when you're having any carrier signal, the message will be imposed on the carrier. The signal will be transmitted to long distance, either in a wired or wireless. That is not a bother. That is not a big question. Either generally in a transmitter section, that is the major process in a transmitter section. But in a receiver, if it is a wireless or wired, after receiving your signal, you have to identify either it is acceptable level or not. So we need some process. We have to go by if it is the noise presented on your received signal, definitely we have to reduce the noise. Then you have to go for the filter process. Then later on, after filtering your signal or after getting your original signal, you have to compare with your reference value or threshold value. So then only you can compare either my received signal is accepted level or not. So all those process which constrained or which is in the receiver section. So the receiver is too complicated design when compared to the transmitter. So don't think that the transmitter also is too difficult, because we have to think based on the distance. We have to choose which type of transmitter, which type of modulation, or what is the frequency, or in terms of nanometer, or in optical system in terms of nanometer, everything we have to understand. So that is also a complicated design, but compare the receiver is too complicated design in a transmitter section. So thank you for your response. So in that point, I'm adding some more information for the specifically for optical system. So on the list diagram, you can see the lower diagram, you can see the responsivity and the wavelength. So already we know the information with the help of any type of information, either digital or analog or any video or any data, the signal, other is in the form of electrical signal, will be converted into the form of optical in terms of light. So that I have to transmit through the optical fiber. Then the signal will be detected either by the photodetectors, that is avalanche photodiode or pin photodetector. You can see that in a pin generally in a photodetectors in the receiver section, if it is a 850 nanometer, you can go by only the silicon based photodetector. Then if you're having in the range of the second window and third window, you have a two combination. One is indium gallium arsenic combination photodetector and also germanium combination photodetectors. So we have a three different, maybe four different type of materials which is available for the process of photodetectors. So based on that, we can see that what is the responsivity and the relation between the wavelength. Generally, in any system or any receiver, if you are dealing any receiver characteristics in a receiver section, within a fraction of a second, as an engineer, we would expect that within a fraction of a second, we have to get the result. If I am not getting result within a fraction of a second, definitely I have to work more to get retry. Either I have to go for the filter process, or either I have to go for denoising process. Then everything I have to go, then I have to finally retry my original information. So as an engineer, definitely you would like to get the immediate response from the any system. So same as in our optical detectors, we have to get the immediate responsivity from the light falling on your photo detector. If suppose if I'm taking any photo detector, if the light falling on your photo detector, the responsivity or the photo detector is taking too much of time to give the output, definitely it is not successful communication. You cannot say there is successful communication. So the responsivity should be very quick based on your photo detector system. So you can see that is how from this image you can see that the responsivity with respect to the wavelength. So I am concluding particular this slide. You can, with the help of only this slide, you can understand the entire optical communication system. So we have a attenuation and relation between the attenuation and the wavelength, and we have optical sources. Which type of optical source is suitable for which window, either first window, second window, or third window, or what is type of optical amplifier we are having, and what type of amplifier is suitable for second window and third window. Then finally we have discussed that responsivity with relation to the optical wavelength, that is in terms of nanometer. So do you have any question on this particular slide? Any questions? Any questions? If you have any question, please ask, unmute yourself, or post in the chat box.
Sir, what is the conclusion of the second graph, sir?
What?
What is the conclusion of the second graph?
That is responsivity.
Which one has a higher response?
No. This particular slide is giving the information based on your nanometer. Suppose if you are going for the 850 nanometer, these are the available systems. You cannot go by, you cannot use 850 nanometer with the help of Indian gallium arsenic systems. So if you are using that particular way, definitely the responsivity will be high. So from this slide, you can understand that if it is 850 nanometer, these are the characteristics. If it is 1310 nanometers, that is second window, these are the available optical sources and responsivity characteristics. If it is a third window, that is available information. So based on your application, based on your material, that is optical source in nanometer, you have to go understand what are the things is possible, what is going to be happen. Based on that, how you can design your system and everything. That is the idea behind this particular slide. Okay. Shall we move to the next one? Okay, someone please respond. We will go move to the next one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So the next is elements of optical transmission link. So this is elements of optical fiber link. One thing before going to start particular this topic, as an exam point of view, definitely you can expect this question as in our end semester examination as a question of 11A. 11A definitely will be when you are looking the syllabus first half and second half, the 11A will be the first half parameter, 11B will be the second half of your unit 1. So particular this topic definitely you can expect in end semester examination and also in our CAT questions also. So the discuss detail about the elements of optical fiber communication system. Discuss detail about optical fiber communication system with neat diagram. So the questions may be differ based on the pattern which they are choosing. So this is the general diagram for elements of optical fiber communication system. One more thing I have to mention that local author or maybe some other textbook or some other material, you can see the simplified diagram of your this particular slide. That is what to say. If they are asking this question in a 6 mark area, 6 marks, you can write that particular major elements, then you can discuss and you can write your content and everything. If they are asking the question in a 13 or in a, if they are asking in a part C, definitely you have to draw the entire diagram which you are seeing now. So be careful, based on your mark or based on your question carries the mark, you have to answer either in a 6 mark or in a 13 mark. So that is the idea before going to this particular topic. So as you already we have discussed, generally we have in any communication system, we have a transmitter and we have a medium and also we have a receiver. So in a transmitter section, this is the transmitter section of optical system, and this is the medium of the entire the area deals the parameter of optical medium, and this the lower area or lower of this particular area deals the parameter of receiver section. So in a transmitter we have optical sources. In a receiver we have a photodetector. In between the connection with the help of optical fiber, the transmitter and the receiver will be connected. So in the transmitter section, we have it. I said we have optical sources. With the help of optical sources only, you can transmit some information. Either if you are going by LED or if you are going by the injection laser diode, that is in a laser. So we have two optical sources. One is laser diode, another one is LED. So based on that, your drive circuit, that is the input for the drive circuit will be the electrical input signal. So that electrical signal, it may be an analog signal or in terms of digital, or in terms of it may be any type of information. It may be data or video or any Word document or PDF or whatever the data we are having. Those information will be given to the drive circuit. The drive circuit which is suitably convert into the electrical signals into the light sources. So based on I told that based on your application, you can decide which type of information or which type of sorry, can you see my face? I think it is sorry, I'm switching off my face. It is power off in my home, so sorry to disturb. I am switching on my face. Okay,
Okay, sir.
Okay. I put my face in off mode. So this is transmitter section. So drive circuit. So then laser source or maybe a LED or a laser diode. Then that will be given to the optical fiber. Then we have optical splice and optical splitter. Optical splice and optical splitter is used to connect two different fiber. When you are having two different, two fiber separately, if you want to connect two fiber together, either you have to go with the help of optical splicer or optical splitter. So optical splice is connected to two different fiber materials, two fiber. Then if you want to get some information in inline optical fiber, you have to go by the beam splitter and also the splitter. We will discuss in third unit what is optical splices and optical splitter and everything. And we have a repeater. Already I told that repeater is a regenerative circuit. Like generally, if you're having any optical amplifier, in optical amplifier itself, you can amplify those information, then you can retransmit to the further distance. If you are not having optical amplifier, definitely you have to go for the normal electrical amplifier signal. So you have to get back, you have to place one optical photodetector over here. So the light signal fall onto the optical photodetector, then that will be converted into the electrical signals. That with the help of electrical amplifier, once again you have to regenerate or amplify the signal. Then you have to place one more that is optical source material. Then you have to regenerate this one. So generally, what will happen in a transmitter section, with the help of this particular area, you will convert into the electrical to optical. That is E to O, electrical to optical signal. Here you will do optical to electrical, then electrical to optical. So this is the difference between these two sections. Then the signal will be transmitted to the receiver. As I said earlier, and the receiver is too complicated to design. So we have a photodetector, then we have an amplifier. The photodetector will receive the information, whatever you have transmitted. If that received signal is not up to the level, definitely I have to go for any filter process or some amplifier, internal amplification process. So then that those signal received signal, that is received signal will get amplification. Then the signal will be stored in a signal restorer. Finally, you will get what the information you have transmitted in the transmitter section. The same information you can see in a receiver. So this is the general idea. So we have a transmitter and a receiver, and in between we have a medium. The medium is optical fiber material. Optical fiber material is made of either it is there is a semiconductor material, either it's made by a glass or it is made by the plastic. Either it is made by glass or plastic. Based on your application, you have to choose. Either I have to go for the glass made fiber or a plastic made fiber system. So this is how the general elements of our optical system. So we have a transmitter, we have a receiver, in between we have a medium, that is our optical fiber cable. So we can see you have a connector, then you have a splicer, you have a splitter. These three important characteristics is in our optical system. The connector is used to connect your light source into the fiber material. The reason behind using of this connector is maybe my light source active area is not matched with the core of my optical fiber. So that time I cannot directly connect my optical fiber into my light source. So that time I have to go by our intermediate system, that is the connector. With the help of this connector, I can exactly match my active area of my light source with directly to my active area of my that is optical fiber. So that is idea of the connector. Then the splicer, in between somewhere else, we have suppose from the Chennai to Madurai, I am transmitting some information, and suppose I want to connect two different fiber in Trichy, I have to go with the help of the optical splicers. So by optical splices, I can connect two fiber together, then the signals will be transferred one point to another point. So the splitter is important. Another characteristic is in the splitter, suppose I want to analyze, so say for example, I am transmitting information from Chennai to Madurai. In Trichy, I have to check either I am transmitting, so someone transmitting the information in a perfect way or not. Or suppose if we want to split in Trichy to analyze what is the inside the information, everything you can do by the help of splitter. So you can do the splitter with the help of splitter. You can divide already the existing signal then into the another equipment. That is the idea of the beam splitter or splitters. So connector, splicer, and splitters will be discussed in the third unit. That is optical sources and detectors. This is a general idea of the element system. Finally, you have an optical amplifier. Already I told that optical amplifier characteristics. So here your optical amplifier signal as optical light itself, you can amplify with the help of EDFE, that is erbium doped fiber amplifier. Then we have a receiver, a photodetector, either a pin photodetector or avalanche photodiode. Then you have an internal amplifier to amplify after denassing process. Then signal restore. Finally, you will get your information. So ultimate aim as an engineer, we have to ensure that what information they have transmitted, what information I am receiving. So I have to ensure that as an engineer, we have to ensure that the maximum transmission success rate or communication success rate, at least 99.9%, we have to ensure that transmitted information and also the received information. So as an engineer, that is the mandatory work. We have to design such type of our transmitter section and a receiver or in a medium or whatever it may be. So that is idea behind this particular topic, elements of optical fiber system. Any question in this? Any questions? Are you hear me?
No questions, sir.
Okay. We'll stop or we'll go to the next one. So this is next slide. This is an overview, transmitter section and channel. and repeater and receiver section. Yes, yes. Yes, who's? Someone want to speak? I think I don't know who is speaking. Anything? Anything want to say? Or any doubt in this particular the topic or idea? Please feel free. If you're having any doubt, please post in the chat box. Definitely, I will try to answer for the particular question. Till now, if you're having any question, please ask. No issue at all. Any questions? Okay, no, okay, thank you. So I will take 5 more minutes. We will stop once again. So this is information sources, transmitter section, whatever we have discussed. Advantages of optical fiber communication. Can you see this final slide? We will stop here. Okay. Anyone please respond? We'll stop here.
Okay, sir.
Advantages of optical fiber communication. So we have a major 9 advantages of optical fiber communication. One is large potential bandwidth, and second is small size and lightweight, and we have electrical isolation, and fourth one is immunity to interference and crosstalk, and the fifth one is signal security, and sixth one low transmission loss, and seventh one is ruggedness and flexibility, and the eighth one reliability and easy maintenance, and last potential low cost. So these are the main advantages of optical fiber communication. One is definitely large potential bandwidth, and potential low cost system, and low transmission loss. Definitely we have to thank to our inventors the low transmission loss. The transmission loss very low compared to the previous years. That is in the year of 1980 or 1990. They had the biggest issue is loss. If we are transmitting some 1 milliwatt or 10 milliwatt power, definitely they will lose maximum amount of energy. At the receiver end, they will receive only 1 milliwatt if we are transmitting 10 milliwatt. So huge amount of energy will be lost at the receiver end, the area of 1980s. So later on, I told that now they are achieved more. Around 2.2 decibel per kilometer is the loss in optical system. So I will stop here. We will discuss further. If you have any question, please ask. Aparna asked, how does connectors convert light source to fiber material? For the particular question, the connector is not what to say. It is doesn't have a characteristics of converting material. It is a simple connector. It's optical connector between your light source and the fiber. It will not do anything. It will not consider about your light sources and characteristics of light and everything. It's just a connector. Suppose if you are for the maintaining your lawn or corridor, you will connect some hose pipe into the water pump. No, so it's like that. You have small optical connectors. With the help of optical connectors, you can connect your light source and your fiber material. This is not a mandatory case. Sometimes some of your optical fiber is directly matched with your light source. There is no need of connectors. Sometimes definitely you have to go by the connector itself. If you are not going by the connector, definitely you cannot exactly connect your optical fiber in terms of light source. Suppose at the particular time, if you are not going by the connector, the amount of energy will be transmitted from the light source into the medium is very, very less. You have a connector loss. You will face issue of connector loss. We will discuss that into the second unit. So that is how the connector is important in generally in our optical fiber system. I think I have answered for Aparna. Any other questions or any doubts? Please unmute yourself and please ask if you have any question. Any questions? No doubt. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. No. At least one question. Please unmute and ask. Unmute yourself, then ask. So I will stop my presentation. Then I will stop my recording also. I will stop here. Maybe we will discuss later.